Imagine tapping into the collective wisdom of some of the most successful entrepreneurs online. Three brilliant minds, each with a unique path to building real wealth, but with surprisingly overlapping insights.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if you could get a direct line to their strategies for turning a great idea into a thriving business?
That's precisely our mission today. In this deep dive, we're unpacking a masterclass drawn directly from the sources you shared, specifically an in-depth discussion featuring these top entrepreneurs. We're here to give you a shortcut to becoming truly well-informed about the core principles of, well, creating, growing, and scaling a business.
We're going to explore what it really takes to be an entrepreneur, how to sharpen your instincts for evaluating business ideas, the nuanced art of selling,
Yeah, the selling part is huge.
the smartest ways to invest in yourself, and critically, how to harness content and build influence in this AI-driven world we're in now.
Exactly.
Our goal is to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge, to help you understand what matters most on your entrepreneurial journey.
And this isn't just theory. These are insights from highly successful individuals previously featured on the Diary of a CEO, and they offer a truly practical roadmap.
Okay, let's dive in. When we think about entrepreneurship, it often sounds like this grand, complex thing. But one of the guests offers a wonderfully simple starting point.
Yeah.
If a child can mow a lawn or babysit for money, that's fundamental entrepreneurship. It's that basic exchange of value for money.
It really simplifies it, doesn't it? And what's powerful about that perspective is the realization that if you can hold a job, you absolutely possess the foundational ability to be a self-employed entrepreneur.
Right.
It boils down to your willingness to apply leverage, meaning finding ways to multiply your effort and results without, linearly increasing your time. And crucially, your capacity for pain tolerance.
Pain tolerance. That sounds a bit intense for building a business. Can you elaborate on what they meant by that?
Well, it sounds harsh, but it's a key insight they shared. Entrepreneurship, they suggest, is largely a byproduct of how much pain you can consistently tolerate. And perhaps more importantly, how effectively you learn from that pain to reduce it over time. The objective isn't merely to suffer, right?
Yeah.
It's to find meaningful pain, pain that genuinely aligns with your origin story, your mission, and your vision.
Okay. Meaningful pain.
Exactly. If the drudgery you feel is fundamentally out of alignment with your deepest purpose, that's not meaningful pain, and it's probably a sign to reevaluate.
That makes so much sense. The alignment piece is critical. And it's fascinating to consider how deeply ingrained entrepreneurship actually is.
Yeah.
One of the guests pointed out that the very idea of a job as we know it is a relatively recent phenomenon, only really coming into existence around the 1850s.
Right. Before that.
Before that, people were paid for tasks, making entrepreneurship almost inherent.
Indeed. And it connects to how the human brain operates in an entrepreneurial context. They talk about three levels: survival, status quo, and the visionary mind.
The visionary mind.
That's the one that truly fuels entrepreneurship, as it's wired for exchange, empathy, strategic thinking, and adding value to others.
Okay.
And the sheer energy of being around other entrepreneurs, they mentioned this too, can be incredibly contagious. It sparks that visionary side within you.
So once you've tapped into that entrepreneurial mindset, then comes the often agonizing question for founders. How do you know if you should push through a brutal challenge or if it's time to pivot entirely?
Oh, yeah.
They're distinct decisions.
Absolutely. And they laid it out pretty clearly. A pivot becomes necessary when an underlying core assumption of your original business thesis is fundamentally disproven.
Okay, like what?
For instance, if you launched a dog teeth brushing service, assuming people would pay for it. But after substantial effort, it's clear they simply don't care about that specific problem. That's a pivot moment. You shouldn't continue to push harder on a core assumption that's been shown to be false.
So when do you push? What's the difference?
You push when your underlying thesis is still true, but you haven't quite figured everything out yet. This often comes down to insufficient volume of effort.
Volume.
Yeah. You might think your business isn't working, but it's more likely you haven't done enough work. Knocking on 20 doors won't tell you if there's a market. Knocking on 2,000.
Well, that might give you a much clearer picture.
That leads directly to a trap many entrepreneurs fall into: opportunity cost.
Definitely.
They're willing to endure significant pain and put in immense work, but maybe not for the best possible return on that suffering.
Precisely. Every venture, every business requires pain and work. That's a given. The critical insight here is this: if you're going to suffer, choose the path that offers the best return on that suffering.
Right. The skills you develop in one area might yield vastly different financial returns when applied to a different vehicle. A local restaurant, for example, demands incredible pain and sacrifice, but its payout ceiling is often dramatically lower than, say, an AI startup that might require similar levels of dedication.
And for new entrepreneurs, this is a truly important insight from the sources you shared. Your first business is often more about learning the game of business itself
Yes.
than the specific product or service you're selling. You're internalizing fundamentals like team building, marketing, promotions, customer service.
All the basics.
So it might actually be more beneficial to start with a less complex venture to learn these ropes, rather than diving headfirst into an ambitious AI startup just to master the process.
Which raises a really important question. How do you even know if your idea is any good to begin with?
Exactly.
One powerful framework they discussed, borrowed from private equity, is called the moat strategy.
The moat strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like something a medieval lord would use to protect his castle. What does moat stand for in this business context?
It's a great analogy for defensibility. So M stands for margin. You should aim for at least 15% net profit.
Okay, 15%.
O is for operations. Can the business truly scale over time, or are you just creating a job for yourself, trading hours for money?
Right, the scaling question.
A is for advantage. Do you have an unfair advantage, something that makes it hard for competitors to replicate, like strong social media distribution, maybe proprietary tech, or years of deep industry experience?
That unfair edge. Got it.
And T.
And T is for TAM, or total addressable market. Is there a large enough market for your business idea to achieve your desired income level? Is the pond big enough?
So how do you use this MO8 framework to evaluate an idea? Is there like a scoring system?
Yeah, basically, you rank each of these 4 components from 1 to 10 for your specific business idea.
Okay.
A total score above 30 across all 4 suggests it's a fund it, business likely, viable, and investable.
Fund it. Between 20 and 30 means fix it. You've got some significant problems to address before proceeding.
Needs work.
And anything below 20, that's a flee it situation. It's likely not the right business for you to pursue right now. It's a pragmatic, quick way to assess.
That's a clear, actionable roadmap for early evaluation. Beyond the MOA, the sources also offered a complementary, simpler framework for vetting ideas. Pain, pockets, passion.
Yes, that's a really useful gut check. First, does your idea address a measurable pain point that you can genuinely solve for someone?
Measurable pain.
Okay. Second, does the target audience have enough money in their pockets to pay for your solution?
Right, can they afford it?
Exactly. As they pointed out, the top 10% of income earners hold about 60% of disposable income. Targeting them, or what they call the affluent niche, is often more effective than trying to compete with giants like Amazon or McDonald's in the lower-priced mass market segments.
Interesting point about the affluent niche. And the last P, passion.
And finally, are you truly passionate about it? One guest defines passion not as constant joy, but as a deep willingness to suffer for something.
Willingness to suffer.
Demonstrating delayed gratification. It's about enduring the tough times because the underlying purpose matters deeply to you.
That's a good definition.
And it's worth noting a third angle the sources brought up for identifying business ideas. Starting from a personal pain you overcame yourself, a deep passion you have, like a hobby you're obsessed with.
Okay.
Or leveraging your existing profession, transitioning from an employed role to a self-employed one, perhaps offering fractional consulting in your field.
Makes sense. And crucially, in today's world, with AI disrupting virtually everything, this kind of rigorous reevaluation is more critical than ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Every business should assume it's on borrowed time, creating a perfect opportunity to rethink and potentially pivot. It sounds like AI doesn't change the fundamental need for your unique human foundation.
Precisely. Every truly successful business, they suggest, is built upon someone's unique case study, leveraging the entrepreneur's specific background, their knowledge, their network, and their reputation.
Right.
AI provides tools, amazing tools, but it doesn't replace that unique human foundation.
So once you have a good idea, you obviously need to sell it. And here's a surprising insight from the source material that genuinely challenged my assumptions.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Challenge the common misconception that it's always safer to sell cheaply. The power, they argue, often lies in selling to the rich or maybe more accurately, to those who will yield the most substantial returns from your skill.
That's such a crucial point. Consider a conversion rate optimization company.
Okay.
Adding 10% to a $1 million business adds $100,000 in value, but applying that same skill set to a $100 million business adds $10 million in value.
Wow, huge difference.
Same skill, vastly different returns based on the client's capacity. Or think of an occupational health and safety consultant. They can charge vastly more for consulting in a high-risk manufacturing environment compared to a typical office, even if the core expertise is the same. The market for your skill dictates its value.
That's a powerful way to frame it. And this leads directly to the power of pricing your services effectively from the start.
Yes.
What stood out to me was the idea that you're probably appropriately priced when about 7 out of 10 people say no.
Right.
That indicates a close rate of roughly 30–35%.
It's counterintuitive, isn't it? But it reveals that you're hitting the sweet spot for perceived value. One guest showed an anecdote about tripling their gym prices.
Tripling. Wow.
Yeah, they lost 1/3 of their customers, which sounds bad.
Yeah, it sounds terrifying.
But remarkably, they doubled their revenue and vastly increased their profit, all while creating a more exclusive experience. It demonstrates the incredible profit sensitivity that comes with strategic pricing. If you're running a business with, say, a 10–15% margin, a modest increase in price can lead to a disproportionate surge in profits.
It's incredible how much leverage pricing gives you over profitability. So price should reflect value, not just cost.
Absolutely. Think about how products like Typeform price their services based on usage, number of users, or the value derived rather than just a flat fee. This is also where customer segmentation becomes vital. The sources pointed out that roughly 1% of clients command 15% of the market budget.
Okay.
0.9% hold 45%, and the remaining 90% have only 40%.
So if you're just starting out, who should you be targeting based on that?
For most small businesses, focusing on that affluent niche, the 9% segment, is a great starting point. They often shop on passion and value rather than just price.
Right.
And critically, you can grow with them as they potentially scale into the top 1% segment later on.
Building confidence in sales is also key. The source material suggests it's primarily built through repetition.
Practice, practice, practice.
And by cultivating an abundance of options, which projects that powerful with or without you energy.
And even if you lack experience, you can demonstrate obsession through preparation. This was a great point they made.
How so?
Instead of scattering your efforts by applying to thousands of jobs or pitching indiscriminately, choose a handful of opportunities and obsessively research everything about them.
Really dig in.
Yeah, use tools, even AI, to gather data, understand their specific problems, and put together a package that shows you genuinely care more than anyone else. This level of preparation is rare and incredibly valued.
Now, let's unpack the concept of passive income, a phrase that gets thrown around a lot.
Ah, yes, the holy grail.
But our experts offered a perspective that really challenged some common narratives around it.
First, it's crucial to understand that passive versus active income exists on a continuum. It's not a rigid binary.
Okay, a spectrum.
Yeah. And for those starting out with insufficient capital, focusing on increasing active income yields significantly higher returns than trying to painstakingly build traditional passive streams.
This is where the core idea of investing in yourself comes in.
Right. Exactly. For beginners with under, say, $10,000 or even $25,000, the absolute best investments are in themselves.
Makes sense.
This means acquiring skills or equipment that provide direct leverage on their active income. Think about it. Buying a snowblower to increase how many driveways you can clear per hour.
Right, tangible leverage.
Or getting a phlebotomist certification to significantly boost your earning capacity in a short period.
Okay.
This is also where the concept of asset income becomes more valuable to consider. Income, they argue, ultimately follows an asset.
Asset income. Different from passive income.
Well, related, but the focus shifts. While traditional assets like art or wine might be good for parking money or beating inflation, they are terrible for trying to generate significant income when you're starting out. What you truly want are performance assets. Intellectual property, media, code, or data.
So like writing a book, building a SaaS platform, or cultivating a highly valuable database of relationships.
Exactly. These are assets anyone can build today, unlike in the past when such opportunities were far more limited. And they are designed to generate income based on their inherent value and utility.
Here's where it gets truly thought-provoking. One guest offered a critical perspective on the pervasive passive income ideal, arguing it's often promoted by the investment industry, primarily to gather assets. They might tell you it makes you more sophisticated to invest in others' funds.
Right, give us your money.
But the truth, they contend, is that you will never get truly rich from passive income generated through mutual funds or third-party private equity.
Interesting. So who gets rich?
The individuals who get rich from those avenues are the ones actively running the funds or the underlying businesses themselves.
Ah,
The core message is clear. You will never have a higher return on investment than when you invest in yourself.
invest in you. Got it.
So if you were starting from zero in 2025, with AI fundamentally changing the landscape, what would be the practical strategies? Let's say you have just $1,000.
Okay, $1,000. One strategy they proposed is to learn AI integration deeply by watching existing online resources. Tons of free stuff out there.
Right.
Then offer email list activation services to small businesses. You generate sales from their existing contact lists for a percentage of the revenue.
Leveraging their existing assets.
Exactly. Taking on zero delivery cost yourself. It's about leveraging someone else's existing assets and taking a spread.
Smart. Okay, what if you had $10,000?
With $10,000, the focus shifts to strategic partnerships. One approach suggested is to approach local private equity firms and offer deal sourcing services.
Deal sourcing.
Yeah, you'd earn a flat fee, perhaps $10,000 per deal, for profitable companies you source that meet their specific criteria. This path allows you to leverage other people's capital and teaches you high-leverage deal-making skills.
Interesting. And then there's the dangerous $100,000. Why dangerous? It sounds like that amount comes with its own unique set of challenges.
It's dangerous because it's enough to kid yourself into thinking you have money.
Right. False sense of security.
But it can be blown through incredibly quickly. The suggested strategy here is to acknowledge that you might not yet have the necessary knowledge, network, or reputation yourself.
Okay.
Instead, leverage someone else's. Invest the $100,000 as debt for equity, perhaps 10% debt for equity and 10% sweat equity in their proven idea.
So like buying into their system.
You're essentially paying for the right to learn a proven system, much like a franchise model, but potentially with more upside.
This insight really emphasizes that money is often a red herring compared to knowledge, network, and reputation.
Absolutely. Money follows those things.
It sounds like you should actively prioritize building your reputation, perhaps by publicly sharing your achievements and expanding your network.
Yeah, get out there.
By attending events where ambitious young professionals can connect with established players, like at private banks or accounting firms.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of mentorship and apprenticeship.
Right.
Just as Kim Kardashian famously learned from Paris Hilton, finding successful entrepreneurs to learn from directly can provide an invaluable playbook and accelerate your progress exponentially.
Ultimately, the source material suggests there are two primary paths to making money quickly. Direct promotion, which is typically a volume game, often business to consumer, B2C, or partnerships,
B2B route,
which means fewer, bigger, faster deals,
Yeah.
typically business to business, B2B. Neither is inherently better. It's about what truly suits your strengths and your business model.
Makes sense. Now let's talk about the future of content and building influence, particularly in an AI-driven world.
Okay.
Content creation, initially viewed as cringe by some,
Yeah, I remember that face.
is now widely recognized as a powerful arbitrage opportunity, meaning there's a significant gap between the effort it takes to create compelling content and the outsized return you can get from capturing audience attention,
Which is everything now.
which is the 21st century's most valuable currency.
But with AI, it feels like the landscape is shifting. AI-generated content is creating a fog, making it much harder for new creators to stand out unless they have a genuinely strong hook.
That's the challenge. This means you need to decide if your primary role is an entertainer or an educator.
Entertainer versus educator.
Okay. AI will likely have more leverage on entertainment as it can generate engaging narratives or visuals more easily. But education fundamentally requires proof.
Proof.
Yeah, doing epic things and then consistently talking about them. For example, an individual who actively helps small businesses with AI automations and transparently shares their process daily
Okay, showing the work.
is building proof and educating, which AI can't yet replicate authentically.
The sources offered a powerful framework for creating influence in this environment.
SPCL, what does that stand for?
Right, SPCL. Status comes from controlling scarce resources.
Okay.
Power is about say-do correspondence. People follow your instructions and consistently get good results. Think like Martha Stewart's recipes. They work, so she has power.
Okay. Makes sense.
C. Credibility is having tangible proof of your claims, like selling a company for a significant sum.
Hard proof.
And likeness means being physically or psychographically similar to your audience, sharing their values, and understanding their struggles.
Got it.
Combining these elements makes content creators far more influential and leads to higher conversion rates for whatever they offer.
It's also striking how sophisticated algorithms have become. Content itself now acts as a form of targeting.
It really does. By creating content specifically for a certain audience, you can attract them far more effectively. Even if your audience is smaller initially, the algorithm finds them for you. And in a world saturated with AI and often overproduced content, rawness and authenticity are increasingly vital for building trust.
Hugely important. Authenticity in this context is how you act when there's no risk of punishment.
Interesting definition.
Being publicly authentic about your beliefs can effectively filter out detractors and build incredibly deep trust with your true supporters. It's like an inoculation against future criticism.
The ultimate goal, they argue, should be the marketing affinity loop, moving people from mere awareness to consideration, then to purchase, advocacy, and finally, deep loyalty.
Right, not just chasing views.
The aim isn't just views. It's genuine loyalty and advocacy, where clients become your most powerful evangelists.
This highlights the critical importance of depth in relationships. Think about streamers spending hours interacting with their audiences, or the impact of long-form content, books, and live experiences. These create strong, memorable connections that short-term viral hits simply can't replicate. While views are nice, a deeply loyal audience is what drives sustainable success.
But creating content, especially for significant reach, often costs money. You mentioned potentially $40,000, $50,000 a month in retainers for consistent output.
Yeah, it's not cheap to do well at scale. This is why successful creators often have established businesses or backends that effectively monetize this valuable attention. The content feeds the business.
Right.
This actually creates a growing opportunity for established business owners, perhaps those already running $50 million a year businesses, to build a powerful content empire.
Because they have the back end already.
Exactly. They already have the stories, the proof, and the back end. They often just need a project manager to help them strategically enter the online space and leverage what they already have.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. As entrepreneurs, we're constantly pitching. One guest defines entrepreneurship as the journey of 1,000 pitches.
I like that.
You pitch ideas into existence, and you quite literally get what you pitch for.
And the sources provided clear frameworks for pitching, which is super helpful. For a quick social pitch, think 30 seconds or less, they suggested name, same, fame, pain, aim, game.
Name, same, fame, pain, aim, game. Catchy.
Yeah. For a more structured, scheduled presentation, like a capstone pitch, it's about clarity, authority, problem, solution, traction, or why, opportunity, next steps, and an emotional ending. Gives you a solid flow.
Okay, that's more detailed. And for raising money.
For raising money, there's the Midas Touch framework. You need at least one of these four to attract investment, profit, growth, history, or story.
Profit, growth, history, story.
Yeah, if you have nothing else but an incredibly compelling story, you can still raise money.
Interesting. A crucial point across all forms of selling is that proof always beats promise.
Always.
This is where a slightly counterintuitive idea comes in. For new entrepreneurs, the sources suggest aiming to get 5-10 free clients up front solely to gather testimonials and case studies.
Yeah, focus on the proof first.
Why? Because that tangible proof will be far more valuable than any early revenue, and prioritizing it allows you to build a rock-solid foundation. In fact, they said early revenue can sometimes be a distraction from building that crucial proof.
That's a powerful distinction, prioritizing proof over initial revenue. And when it comes to sales appointments, there's a step-by-step framework called Closer. Can you walk us through it?
Sure. Clarify why they are there. Truly listening is key.
Okay, clarify.
Label them with a problem you can solve for them.
Label the problem.
Overview past experiences or pain, because motivation is the equal opposite of deprivation. Get them talking about the pain.
Got it. Overview pain.
Sell the vacation, your solution, with just 3 key points in 90 seconds max, using simple analogies. Keep it concise.
Sell the solution fast.
Explain objections, clearly outlining what happens if they say no. Address the risks of inaction.
Explain objections. Okay.
And finally, reinforce the decision they're making. Solidify the commitment.
Closer. Okay, that's practical.
What's fascinating here is the power of pauses in sales. One study mentioned shows that if you wait 8 seconds after asking for the sale—
8 whole seconds. Feels like an eternity.
Right. But it can increase close rates by 30%. Salespeople are often afraid of silence, but a longer pause can solicit a response and make you appear higher value. Don't rush to fill the void.
Interesting technique. Also remember to show, don't tell. Humans are visual creatures.
Definitely.
Always incorporate visuals into your sales, pitches, photos, iPads showing Trustpilot reviews, or even AI-generated mock-ups like a fully landscaped house from a current photo.
Good idea.
Creating a physical brochure can also be a surprisingly effective exercise to solidify your offering and your value proposition. Makes it tangible.
And instead of directly selling, a smart approach is to pitch an assessment as the next step.
Not the full sale yet.
Right. I don't know if I can help you, but if we go through this assessment, we'll figure it out together.
This creates a little bit of friction, which, paradoxically, often makes the perceived value of your service much higher. Makes them qualify themselves a bit. I like that. Beyond pitching, truly wealthy people, the sources suggest, understand money games, what we might call financial engineering.
Money games. Tell me more.
This isn't about being an accountant, but knowing how to strategically use other people's money, like SBA loans or lines of credit, to acquire and grow businesses. Every billion-dollar company, for instance, has acquired other companies.
Right. Growth through acquisition.
It's critical to understand your own profit and loss, to actively talk to bankers, and crucially, to get into rooms with people who are doing deals. The money games, they argue, are modelable. They follow predictable patterns, but access to that knowledge has historically been gatekept.
So learn the patterns, get in the right rooms.
Exactly. Another fundamental economic principle often undervalued is that true profit comes from constrained supply and excess demand.
Constrained supply, excess demand.
Think about Google Maps. It's free because it has infinite supply. But Google ads are expensive due to limited ad slots and extremely high demand.
Okay.
The lesson is to strategically constrain your supply and actively manufacture demand for what you offer.
And finally, the art of hiring. This came up too.
Oh, yeah, fundamental.
Oh, yeah.
The ability to find and attract top talent creating excess demand for a role is absolutely crucial.
Right.
Richard Branson famously built his empire by being a masterful delegator and finding exceptional people, even if he lacked the technical knowledge himself.
Find the best people.
And when you can't pay top cash, the ability to offer equity or future money can attract talent, as one of the guests did early in their own business journey.
This brings us to a core concept from one of the guests' upcoming books, client-funded acquisition.
Client-funded acquisition sounds powerful.
This money model is fundamentally about getting your customers to fund your own business expansion rather than relying solely on external capital or your own savings.
So the customers pay for the growth.
Essentially, yes. This strategy directly solves the primary reason 80% of businesses fail: poor cash flow.
Wow. Okay, how does it work?
The specific formula for rapid growth is elegantly simple. Your 30-day gross profit from a customer should exceed 2 times your customer acquisition cost, CS, plus your cost of goods sold.
ECO-GS.
Okay, 30-day gross profit, 2x, C plus CAI-GS.
Exactly. When you hit this sweet spot, cash flow is no longer a constraint, allowing your business to grow as fast as you can effectively handle.
That's a game changer for scaling.
We've deep dived into what it truly takes to build a successful business, from cultivating the right mindset and sharp idea validation to the art and science of selling smart self-investment.
Yeah, lots of ground covered.
Leveraging content in an AI world, mastering the pitch, and understanding the deeper money games. Remember, the journey is tough, but the insights shared today provide powerful shortcuts to help you navigate it more effectively.
Consider this as you move forward. In a world where AI can replicate almost any piece of content or idea, the ultimate competitive advantage isn't just what you know,
Right.
but the depth of the relationships you build and how authentically you demonstrate your values to the world. That's a great final thought. How will you lean into true depth and authenticity in your own life and ventures? We encourage you to explore the work of these incredible entrepreneurs, their books, their YouTube channels,
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
as they are genuinely valuable and inspiring sources that really unpack these ideas further. Think about how you will apply these principles to your own entrepreneurial journey.